What's going on, TFT degenerates? Got a pretty fun game here. Haven't played much Bruiser in this PBE yet, but honestly, they're a lot of fun. I've played like some of the units separately, but I haven't gone vertical on Bruisers yet. So this one turned out being pretty interesting. I had some trouble in the interim trying to figure out, how exactly to format the board, who else to include on that vertical, kind of as the final last units, but we'll kind of talk through all of that as we go through this game. So starting out, just regular old Malphite. Haven't played much of him or any Heavenly yet, so might be trying to looking to do that in my next couple games, but yeah. I mean, had to go Crab Rave, just because, why not? Unlike in ranked, after I lose during a Crab Rave game, and then get pissed off and I want like Silver Symphony, it's how real TFT is played. Just having fun with Crab Rave here. Having some success in some other games, so I'm feeling happy with some variants. They're on the Cho'Gath just because, I don't know, early traits just to try and get some idea of how I might want to position my board. No inclination towards Bruisers yet, mainly because I haven't played them. If I was going into this game just straight Bruiser, then buying this Rek'Sai Kabuko early would have been definitely valuable, definitely would have been the play. Get a lot of gold here, enough to hit 10, so yeah, having that Kabuko just even one round earlier is valuable. Just that little extra health stack is worth something. These items aren't necessarily anything great for Bruisers. Again, though, I'm not really thinking towards Bruisers yet. I'm talking in a mindset. I already know how I go. I do buy this Kabuko just because I'm already at 10 gold. I figure I can, hopefully get some stacks on him. He's a solid late game. He's just solid all around. Might be a little overtuned because he can stack so much health if you just hit a lot of interest. Kind of looking around, just seeing what other people in the lobby are starting off towards, just to get some idea. And then awesome here, making 20 gold and hitting 2 Bruisers. So this is when I'm kind of starting to think, hey, I haven't played much Bruiser at all. This could be fun. I have the Kabuko, have 20 in gold, 3 Bruisers. Could be interesting. And then we get the easiest decision of my life. I'm kind of just rolling these to roll them. I already kind of know I'm taking Bruiser Crest and I'm going to go 8 Bruiser. So yeah, just slot them in, take out the behemoths. And then one thing I will recognize, the right decision is probably just to start winning. Leveling here, playing in a unit, taking 4 Bruiser. But my thought process was, if I can play someone weak, get a win, and then hit 30 gold by selling this extra Aatrox just for the extra Kabuko health, it could probably be worth it, and then I level in the next round. So yeah, as I said, I haven't played much Bruiser, so I am just kind of looking through, trying to figure out who I play on this board after the vertical 8. Sadly, do not play someone weak, so it does kind of look like a bad decision, but all works out in the end, I guess. So yeah, fight didn't go our way. My main complication that we'll see throughout this game in trying to determine my end game board is who is best suited for this Bruiser spat, and then kind of the supplementary traits that my final 2 units will hit. So looking at Dryad, I don't realize this until later in the game, but Dryad is kind of overkill. Like, if I'm going 8 Bruiser, my team already has so much health, stacking a little bit of additional health on 2 Dryad units isn't really anything worthwhile. Luckily I do catch, don't play 3 Bruisers, put in this Sivir and get to 4, even though she is just weak solo, she wants units besides her, it's fine. And then again, I am still trying to make it to 30, so I'm pretty sure I do sell this Aatrox just so that Kabuki can stack, because I know he's going to be in this. For the long term, since I am going 8 Bruiser, the more stacks I can get on him, the better. Still looking through, making sure nobody's, playing a bunch of Bruisers. You know, I'm not just, I haven't signed a death warrant for myself by taking the Bruiser spat. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Looking at this board, you can't really roll. I mean, the win condition here, which, I mean, I'm sure I'll bring it up again later. The win condition is getting to 8 Bruiser. It's not having a 3-star Kench with 8 Bruiser. The win condition here is 8 Bruiser, just period. I'm trying to figure out through all of this. I like Irelia for the main reason that I need kind of some backline damage dealing, and she can certainly hit that. Problem here, if I level and put in a unit, I need to make sure that I win. Getting the Story Weaver certainly helps, but I don't have enough time to position it correctly. Knowing that if I do continue playing Story Weaver, the additional speed on Irelia is very nice. So I am very nervous here, really hoping that I can somehow get this win, make 30. It would be very valuable just for my econ and getting to these higher tiered Bruisers and for Kabuki's health. Still trying to figure out, I do have this kind of bad inclination. Whenever I have one Umbral unit, I'm always like, well, I have to hit 2, you know, why wouldn't I? So that is something I struggle with. The Umbral isn't super important. It's definitely more valuable early game than late game. Like, that small shield on your units to start the game isn't massively important in the end game. So I do kind of work through, I think, the better interim unit before I kind of realized that Triad isn't the answer. The Reapers could work fine, you know, they do have that extra crit chance for some damage dealing. I take this Cho'Gath mainly because getting the cloak for a Declaw super valuable with all the health that these units are going to have, and then just some attack speed, whichever way I combine the bow into something. Some attack speed on my backline is super useful. So yeah, this was the original board I was inkling towards. Some Bruising Reapers. Not really too sure how I was going to play it. Kind of wanted to let the game come to me, but this was kind of the early game board I felt comfortable playing into. So yeah. I do try and thinking about working in Altruist later. Could work. There really are so many paths that if you do play 8 Bruiser, you kind of just have to let the game talk to you. You kind of just have to let it... You have to let the units come to you. It's really the best way I can put it. Because I will give a spoiler alert, I don't ever end up playing 2 Reaper. Just doesn't work out that way. Thinking about maybe a Runins if I don't hit a Declaw on like someone like Irelia. Could be good. Felt always good because of the additional health, you know. A Warmog stacking more additional health could be useful, or Redemption certainly useful. 2 bows for a red buff, potentially useful for burning an opposing team with a lot of health. Finally realized that I never repositioned the Kale, so that's certainly something that I could have improved upon. But yeah, board certainly isn't super powerful right now, so I'm in no rush to slam any items. Still really trying to decipher this puzzle of how I should play these final 1, 2, 3 units depending on when I roll. Definitely don't... I mean, Ghostly could work well with just how much health, how long my fights should go. I really think the addition of Kale to support the Irelia is super powerful. And she's just an additional unit herself. So we are getting there slowly but surely. This Sivir certainly isn't doing us any favors. Fine with another loss here, not too scared just yet. We will eventually hopefully figure out this board as my main thought process in this moment. Get another Riven, cool. I put in the Rek'Sai just because I'm assuming, you know, for now, Story Weaver isn't going to be the route, you know? Like, if I am going to play those Reapers, Story Weaver's done in the midterm until I hit a Galio. So, yeah, just kind of thinking through that, hoping I get some good items. in this grab stage. Yeah, that's what we're really just in another waiting room, waiting to hit more bruisers. Hitting the declaw, super nice. No. Tier 2, great. Sword, fine. And then we just level, you know, increased chance of hitting the Kench. Or do I level in the next round? Either way, definitely love the declaw on Kabuki. He's gonna have so much health by the end of the game. It's super valuable. And there is some validity to playing Sunfire and Kabuki here. Certainly could see it, but after choosing not to level this board, it's weak at this point. So I'm fine with not slamming it. Maybe doing a War Mobs, which is eventually what I do later, just to give him just absurd levels of health, even as a 1-star 1 cost. So yeah, another loss. Streaking a bit here. Would have been better if I didn't get that 1 win, but that 1 win did help me get to 30, so just gotta pick your battles. I don't know where that flying pie came from. And then healing orbs, I think, is just not valuable. There's so much health that 450 isn't super valuable. It does help the team stay longer. Gargantuan Resolve is a real temptation here because I already have one. I could do just double Gargantuan Resolves on Riven, just the largest Riven ever. Maybe a Resolve on Irelia later. I've heard that she stacks it pretty well. But I've yet to play Slammin', so that is very enticing to me. And you know, that XP is going to help me get to those late game boards. It helps me get to 8 Bruiser faster. It helps me find the Irelia faster. So that is very tempting. Eventually I do take the Slammin' just because I would have to roll for Riven 3 for 2 Gargantuan Resolves on her to be super powerful. Hitting this extra Altruist is very nice in the interim. I will itemize her just because I have to slam, and I think she's she's by far the most powerful unit I have on the board right now, especially with those 2 items. Put a Deathblade on Sivir, mainly because if I play the Irelia, it's good. If I end up playing the Yone, it's still fine. So yeah, Slammin's just going to give me some additional XP generation, super nice, helps me get to those late game boards quicker. Again, the win condition is getting to 8 Bruiser. Still trying to figure out this board. Haven't really come to the conclusion yet that that Dryad is not necessary. Trying to figure out, you know, if I play the Altruist, does it make sense? Certainly helpful for keeping the board alive longer. But this board already has so much health that Altruist, again, similar to Dryad, just feels a little overkill. Level up here. I really just... Leveling is the value here. Get to 8 Bruiser, get to 8 Bruiser, get to 8 Bruiser. Especially already being at 60 health, lost streaking. This board is not strong enough yet to cut off the lost streak. Being able to maintain that 50 gold is super nice for Kabuki. Kabuko, I keep calling it Kabuki. But yeah. The only issue is I'm leveling to a board that I don't know what I'm playing yet. Which, as I said earlier, just kind of let the game speak to you sometimes. Get what you can. But at this point I had kind of given up on the Reapers, mainly because I hadn't seen a... blanking on her name. Kindred. I haven't seen a Kindred yet. Working out this because the duelist benefit for Irelia, super valuable. Admittedly, this take isn't great, but they're also like I should have maybe taken the Lee Sin if I really cared about duelist. But in my mind, like the War Mogs is very beneficial. Just additional like scaling health with already massive benefits to health. It just felt good, but in my mind I thought maybe there's a chance. Hey, Riven 3 if I get lucky, but I'm leveling out of the reality of Riven 3. Not to say that another 2-star Riven isn't a horrible unit with you know, a 4 Bruiser bonus. Here I finally look at the Exalteds. Not really any chance I was gonna play these Exalteds, I don't think. I mean, maybe I could have, but it would have been a tough sell with all the Bruisers that I have to play. Definitely prefer the All Choice, but I do take out the Sivir finally. The Yone would just a better unit if I'm not playing Spellweaver. Warmog's the Kabuki, feels pretty good. And we're finally in the win column, so that's pretty nice to see. Riven doing a lot of the damage there. And then Kindred given the temporary item. Item choice being Sunfire and Rageblade. Sunfire feels better just because Kabuki is likely going to be one of the last units standing on my team. So him just burning a lot, super nice. Great job hitting the Kench and another Rek'Sai. Gets me to 6 Bruiser. Kench I'm kind of angling strangely because I have so much health. I want him to keep a lot of health so that he's doing more damage, which is why I'm putting him on kind of the fringes instead of the center of the board. Especially now because he doesn't have any health regen, he doesn't have a decal or anything to keep his health up high. But yeah, Kabuki's stacking up, even as a 1-cost 1-star. He's a beefcake. Sadly though, it's not enough. Kabuki just gets overrun in the late stage of the battle. Considering leveling here, trying to figure out... Well, not considering leveling. I know that I'm leveling, but I'm kind of coming to terms with the idea that, hey, this Riven 3 isn't going to happen. I have to sell that. I really have to dig for these 4-cost Bruisers, because I've said it multiple times, that is essentially my win condition. Insane amounts of gold here, which just lets me get to those Bruisers even faster, so definitely a level up here. Still got 80 gold to get to 9. Play the Riven again, just because there's nothing super valuable I'm looking for. I do put in, you know, I'm trying to mess around, find something worth valuable. Hit the Irelia, crazy find, feels really good. Sell the Yone. I'm really considering, do I put this Bruiser spat on Irelia? I do. Deathblade was meant for Irelia, and then the Gunblade on bench, super valuable, really perfect for slamming too. My thought process with Bruiser Irelia is, I've said this in another video, the longer Irelia lives, the more likely you are to win. If Irelia can just weave through the defense, hitting the opposing team, hitting them all, you're in a really great spot. Gunblade keeps her alive longer, heals the rest of the team, which keeps her alive longer. The Bruiser Spat, also at 8, is going to give her additional damage because every 3 seconds she's going to hit for a portion of her max health. She isn't obviously super max health, but that is somewhat valuable. And then we hit 2 really interesting ones. Martyr and Ascension are both very interesting for this. If I had had a Rageblade on Irelia, then Martyr makes more sense because it keeps the team alive longer and she's just continually stacking. So that would have been very nice. But considering I don't have a Rageblade and I'm already fully itemized with the Bruiser Spat on Irelia, Ascension just makes more sense to me. The Martyr keeps my team alive longer, but it's not... Like, my main issue here is damage at this point. We have so much health. Until I hit 8 Bruiser, we don't have a consistent source of damage. Ascension will help all those Bruiser units actually do more now and at 8 Bruiser when they're dealing additional damage based off their health. 3-starring the Soraka in this short term, just because I really want to streak. I want to save HP at this point. Rolling a little bit, just trying to hopefully find those additional Bruisers as soon as I can, but I can't roll down because I need to get to at least 9. At least that's my thought process. Theoretically, I only need to get to 8, especially already with the Irelia, because 8 Bruiser, again, I'll say it a bunch, is my win condition. But in my eyes, at this stage, especially with slamming, I at least want to get to 9. 10 isn't a guarantee, of course, but 9 feels much better. And then next encounter is Cho'Gath. I cannot accept his offer. 3 component anvils sounds very enticing, but I need that shop slot to find my additional bruisers. I can't sell it. I am scouting to see if other people maybe took the component anvils, because if everyone took component anvils and I decline it, I could just die out. Certainly, but I felt comfortable that enough people didn't take it, so I didn't feel forced to. Basically hoarding these 4 costs, trying to, you know, thin the pool out a little bit, find my guys. But yeah, again, we're kind of just in a waiting period for these bruisers. Sitting on Kench 3, sitting on Kench 2, sitting on Rek'Sai 2, isn't great, but I'm not comfortable with them particularly. And then, as we can see, plan is working somewhat accordingly. You know, team stays alive long. We've hit Ascension, and Irelia is at full health, doing additional damage. Sadly, this fight doesn't go our way, but the thought process is there. And once we hit 8, with that additional front line, with that additional damage, plus Ascension, I'm pretty confident it's going to work out. Thinking about those lovers there, I was going to go around, hunt them down. Instead, I just take the 5 cost. Mainly because I can. I don't really know. With these bruisers, and at 8, you know, their damage is going to scale based off max health. Belts feel like the best choice. The more health all these units have, the more damage they're going to do once I hit that 8 spot. So taking a 5 cost with the belt feels good. Hit both the Kench and the Rek'Sai in that shop, so super big shop. I put another belt on Kabuki just because he is my most healthy unit. Throw the Udyr in, and at this point I realize, well, one, I had realized I should not have been playing this additional Riven 2 for so long. It doesn't really make too much sense. With 2 Ink Shadow now, the Kaisa is a potential play at leveling while I'm in that, you know, waiting lobby for these other bruisers. One, because, you know, not a bad backline unit to give this team some damage, and because I'll get the additional item from Ink Shadow that I can put on anyone on this team. So now we really start to see, you know, Ascension, Kabuki's almost at full health, Irelia's at full health, Soraka's at full health. Like, if this team makes Ascension, you should die, you know? Again, another close fight because we aren't fully there yet, but we do win this one. Thank you, Irelia. Doing a significant amount of damage. Let's not discount the Soraka, though. The Soraka 2 is really powerful for the time being. Well, not really powerful, but valuable, I should say, for the time being. I level just because I'm feeling some pressure at 28 health. After seeing that other fight not go the way, having the Kaisa for Ink Shadow, I feel like it just makes sense, and I'm still at 20 gold even with leveling. Just feels right. I initially put the Tattoo of Protection on Riven just because she is fully itemized. I could see it on Kench, on Udyr, or Riven. The main problem is, like, Riven's max shield isn't going to be too high, but putting it on just, like, a naked Kench right now didn't feel great. And we see Ascension in a significant portion of this team is still alive, so I'm feeling really good about how this is working out, and we aren't even capped out yet, so I'm very happy. Like, hitting the board staying alive this long and only 6 Bruiser, it felt so satisfying. I felt really comfortable, so I was really happy with leveling. Board feels like it's in a decently solid state. I pop off this Tattoo of Protection, put it on Kench instead, just because he's got way more health than the rest of them, so that shield is gonna be significantly better. See a Kaisa in the shop. Kaisa's kind of the short-term option. Her and Udyr aren't staying around for the long term, so I'm not thinking about buying this Kaisa. Time to kill some more crabs before the legendary raid boss at 5, stage 5. A declaw from the crabs, super nice. And then when I hit 2 Kaisas in the shop, I go from, well, I kind of have to, right? Like, this bump up to a 2-star Kaisa guarantees a win streak for me, in my eyes. She's the backline damage that I need for the time being. This declaw is going on someone, I don't know who yet. I'm hunting for these other bruisers, hit 2 Gallios, hit a set, which is super valuable. Don't have time to position the set right, mainly because I'm worried about slamming the declaw. I don't really know what I'm doing here. One tip, slamming will recognize if you put it on your bench units. I didn't read the text for it, but I should have just put a Warmogs on Kabuki. Not that this 2 XP is really gonna alter the game for me at this point insanely, so I don't hate it, but do note that I do miss out on 2 XP because the belt is on Gallia, or Gallo. Loss here feels really bad. So now I'm like, alright, we gotta get to 8. So I sell both Ink Shadows, because clearly the Kaisa wasn't enough, and I need to find a Silas. Just straight up. So rolling for him, hitting Irelia, hit another set, feels really good. Hit a Lee Sin. Lee Sin's fine in the interim to give Irelia the Duelist. More Gallios, finally hit the Silas. Sigh of relief. I can rest easy now. Another thing with Umbral, I mentioned earlier I do fall in the trap of playing 2 Umbral. Because I hit the set, I'm fine with playing the 2 Umbral. Especially now that I have 2 of them and I haven't found the lovers. So with Umbral, I said before, you know, I sometimes may play 2 just because I think I should play 2. Another thing with Umbral, I said earlier, that 250 shield is not the end-all be-all in late game boards. I still kind of fall into the trap in this game, but because I have Ascension, I talk myself into the idea that it's fine. It doesn't matter. And here's the board eking away a win there. Really scary stuff, but we get there. Like, so, because I have Ascension, even that minimal shield is something. But I think for most endgame boards, it does not matter too much whether you have that 250 shield on some additional units or not. So don't fall in the trap of having to place all of your units on that Umbral. Yeah. Holding these like 4 costs, specifically Gallio, or is it Gallio or Gallo? Doesn't really matter too much. Either way, I'm sitting on pairs of 5 costs. The reality is, I'm not going to 3-star any of my 4 costs. Rolling at 9 does make sense just to try and 2-star one of these 5 costs. I'm not going to do it before the carousel though, because there's, you know, I am low on the totem pool right now. There's a high chance, you know, maybe I can hit one on the carousel. Maybe I, you know, who knows. Take the information that you're going to garner from the carousel first. And there you can see the effect of 8 Bruiser. And then just feels super good. Not going to take the Story Weaver because Irelia is super valuable. Not going to take the Umbral. I think it's bait. Take that Irelia, 2-star her, put the Crown Guard on Kench, because Kench is going to be an uber damage dealer with his ability, just having more health than anyone who, and in Ascension, and with that additional damage bonus from 8 Bruiser. I feel really good about that.
We can be heroes.
So now with 2-star Irelia, I feel really comfortable. Because I need Gallo to, you know, survive. I need him to taunt people so that the rest of my team stays alive. I do believe I make this switch here to move him onto the Umbral thing. So just move these back. The Rek'Sai isn't super important. The Silas is only a 1-star, so they're not going to be doing too much. And if they survive, that extra damage is pretty valuable. But I need those front 3 to stay alive. The 3 being the Bruiser is not the set necessarily. The set does stack though, which is better than the game, but he doesn't need to stay alive at this point, especially with only a bow. Get Ascension, and like, it's over. Unless you kill this board before we reach Ascension, you can't win. Just straight up. That's how the board's structured. Another Irelia. In my mind, no way I'm going to hit an Irelia 3, but I do see a ton of Irelias in my shop from this point forward. Not saying I would have hit Irelia 3, but it would have been pretty juicy if I did. Fixing my planner, you know, Lee Sin here, Lee Sin there, it doesn't really matter. Thinking about, is the Lee Sin valuable for the duelist? Yes, because it gives Irelia some more attack speed, especially stacking, which is very valuable. But Ultras could be good just to guarantee that my board gets to Ascension. I can appreciate or acknowledge the fact that it could be overkill on the same lines as Dryad, which is why I put the Lee Sin in instead. Also just a chance to hit the Lee Sin. Ascension hits. Bada bing, bada boom. You're dead. Sorry about that. Set is gonna get massive stacks from just the pure amount of health on this, which also makes him a huge benefit to have on this team. Him squatting all that health is huge. Have a Lee Sin, which is nice. And here's the end game raid boss. So I feel pretty comfortable that this squad should be good enough, right? I have been clearing boards decently well, you know. I feel comfortable. I shouldn't die here, I think, right? So game starts off pretty well. We're doing some solid damage. Team's still alive. We're tanking a lot of his hits. Team's still good. He's hitting us, but we're hitting back. I feel fine. Got him to half health. We've hit Ascension, and Irelia's dead. But you know, maybe these Bruisers can finish off. You know, we have that. We have declaws. We have additional damage via health. But no. Luckily, I barely hang on. And even more luckily, no one else in the lobby beat the crap. So, you know, not all is lost, but very lucky I didn't die there. Throw the Lee Sin for Duelist.
Stick to the plan.
Story Weaver. Well, not Story Weaver. Kale is adjacency bonus. I would rather have on Lee Sin or Riven because they're going to be doing more, you know. They're more fighters than just pure-blooded tanks. Hit the 2-star Silas, very valuable. It was more so hunting for, you know, the set, but hitting the Silas is valuable. Another declaw. Questionable, you know, who I could, you know, maybe put it on. Could see Silas, but I'm just going to 3-item to Kench. If his health is high, he's going to do more damage. If he does more damage, it's just a supplement to the kind of the rest of the team. So, also, you know, more health for him, good, especially at a Bruiser, because it does give a percentage of max health. And more, you know, regen, good, because he will live longer, which if he lives longer, then Irelia should live longer. If Irelia does live longer, we win, just straight up. So, pretty happy about it. Get another win, another deep breath, especially after losing to the crab.
Legends are told in
You know,
word and
really
deed.
still just hunting to hit set 2. Lee Sin is fine, I guess. But yeah, that's really all we're doing. I'm not hunting for a Lee Sin 2, I am predominantly hunting for a set 2, because that's what's gonna ultimately affect this. I'm not sure who benefits more from the attack speed. I put the Riven there mainly because she's 2-starred, which one thing I will acknowledge from earlier in the game, I should have likely sold, when I had 2-star Rivens, I should have sold the one with items, but I was kind of scared about, I don't know. She was good in the moment, and, you know, whatever. I do have the item remover, which I could have used, but, yeah. No, I should have just used that. Especially, I don't think I'd do it ever. I'm now realizing. Yeah, those items should have came off the Riven. But hey, like, Riven is still alive. That's valuable.
Tell a different
Riven
tale.
was one of the last people standing. Not like she's doing a ton, but you know, she there. She's there. You know, she's doing her job. Yeah, finally hit the set. So that feels good. At this point, I should item remove the Riven, put him on the set, and then move the Lee Sin to Riven spot. I don't do that though. Not that it really matters. I am pretty confident in the team, but it would have. That's the right move to item remove. I do move the Kabuko inside mainly because he has so much more health than the Galio, and Galio, his main purpose right now is to keep the rest of the units alive by taunting a bunch of people. So I want him to taunt for as long and as many times as possible, because while he's taunting, the rest of my Bruisers stay alive and make it to Ascension, and their bonus from a Bruiser is then further amplified. So Galio not being in the center means, you know, he should live longer, which means my other units live longer. Either way, great game. 8 Bruiser is a lot of fun. It's just different, but I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think. Was there a better unit than Irelia? If not, I kind of loved it. But yeah, thank you. Have a good one.